morning everyone. I will present material about definition of approach, method, strategy, and technique. The first point is approach. Learning approaches can be interpreted as a starting point or point of view towards the learning process, which refers to the view of the occurrence of a process nature is still process very general. Approach is a pattern series of actions or organisms based on principles, which are directed, systematic on the desired goals. Use conventional learning is learning oriented to the teacher, where the teacher actively provides explanation or learning information details about the learning material. Student-oriented learning, where students are directed to be more active in learning process. Contextual learning approach is a learning concept that helps teacher make connections between the material taught with students, real-world situation, and encourage students make connection between knowledge that it has with its implementation in their daily lives. Second, strategy. In context of learning, strategy is related to approach in delivering material in the learning environment. Strategy learning can also be interpreted as a pattern of learning activities which teachers choose and use contextually according to characteristic students, school condition, surrounding environment, and learning objective, which has been formulated. Dick and Carey state that there are five components learning strategies, namely preliminary learning activities, delivery of information, students' participation, and test and follow-up activities. The first, preliminary learning activities. The way the teacher introduces the lesson material through illustrative example of everyday life or ways the teacher determines the benefits of studying certain subjects will greatly influence students' learning motivation. The second, conveying information. In this activity, the teacher will establish definitive information, concepts, rules, and principles what needs to be presented to students. Here is the main explanation about all learning material. The main mistakes that often occur at this stage is presenting too much information, especially is most of the information is not relevant to the learning objectives. Third, students' participation. The learning process will be more successful if students actively and carry out direct exercise and relevant to the learning objectives that have been set. Fourth, tests. There are two types of tests or assessments that are usually carried out by most teachers, namely pre-tests and post-tests. In general, tests are used by teachers to find out whether learning objectives have been achieved or not, and whether students have skills and attitudes or not. Tests are usually carried out at the end of learning activities after students go through various learning processes, namely explanation. The goal at the beginning of learning activities is convey information in the form of learning materials. 5. Follow-up activities. Continue or follow-up activities Gradually, the principles has to do with the result of the test that have been carried out. The third, method. The definition of method in the context of teaching refers to a systematic approach or procedure used to achieve specific learning objectives. Method in teaching can vary depending on various factors, such as the subject matter, the needs of the students, and the desired outcomes of the lesson. Different methods may be more effective for different subject or students population. For example, a lecture method may be suitable for delivering information heavy content, while a hands-on or experiential method may be more effective for teaching partial skills. The fourth, technique. The definition of technique in the context of teaching refers or refers to specific strategies or tools used by teachers to facilitate learning within a particular method. Techniques are the practical applications or methods and can include activities, exercise, or instruction materials that are designed to enhance students' engagement and understanding. Techniques play a crucial role in the in the teaching process as they provide the practical implementation of methods. They contribute to the effectiveness of instruction by creating a dynamic and interactive learning environment. By employing various techniques, teachers can cater to different learning styles and engage students in different ways. And then the last, differences of approach, strategy, method, and technique. Based on the description above, to be able to carry out their duties professionally, a teacher is required to be able to understand and have adequate skills in developing various effective, creative, and fun learning models as indicated in the education unit level curriculum. If there are approaches, strategies, methods, and learning techniques when combined into one complete unit, what is called a model is formed learning. So, the learning model is basically a form of learning depicted from beginning to end, present typically by the teacher. So that's all for me. Thank you very much.